Once upon a time, there was a cute and playful puppy named Max. He lived in a cozy house with his loving family, which included his parents and his two older siblings. Max loved nothing more than running around the house, wagging his tail, and playing with his toys. His favorite game was fetch, and he would chase after his ball for hours on end. One day, while Max's family was busy with their own activities, Max decided to explore the backyard. He had always been curious about what lay beyond the fence, and he wanted to see for himself. As he was sniffing around, he noticed a small hole in the fence, and without hesitation, he went through it. Once outside, Max found himself in a new and exciting world. There were so many new smells and sights to explore. He ran through the streets, chasing after butterflies and squirrels. He met new dogs, and even a few cats who were friendly and happy to play with him. Max was having the time of his life. But as the sun began to set, Max realized that he was lost. He had no idea how to get back to his cozy home and his loving family. He started to feel scared and alone. He tried to retrace his steps, but everything looked unfamiliar. He started to bark and howl, hoping that his family would hear him and come to find him. Back at home, Max's family realized that he was missing. They searched everywhere for him, asking the neighbors if they had seen him, and putting up posters all over the neighborhood. But there was no sign of Max. They were heartbroken and worried, and couldn't stop thinking about him. As Max wandered the streets, he encountered many different animals and people, each of whom had an impact on his journey. One of his first encounters was with a group of stray cats. Max was initially scared of them, but they quickly warmed up to him and taught him how to find food and shelter on the streets. They showed him where to find scraps in the alleyways, and how to hide from the rain and stay safe at night. Max was grateful for their help, and they became fast friends. Few days later, Max was searching for food using the tricks he had learned from the stray cats, when he was suddenly chased by a pack of wild dogs. He was scared and didn't know what to do, but he remembered the lessons the stray cats had taught him and managed to outrun the dogs and hide. Exhausted and hungry, Max found himself wandering through a quiet neighborhood. He was looking for food and shelter when he stumbled upon a kind old lady's house. She was sitting outside on her porch, enjoying the evening air. Max approached her, wagging his tail, and looked at her with his big, pleading eyes. The old lady noticed him and felt sorry for him. She could see that he was lost and alone, and she knew he needed help. She invited him inside and gave him a warm meal and a comfortable place to sleep. Max was so tired and hungry, it was a relief for him to have a warm meal and a place to rest. The old lady was so kind, Max felt like he was at home. She even gave him a new name, Lucky, as she said he was lucky to have found her. Max was so grateful to the old lady for her kindness and generosity. She provided him with the food, shelter, and emotional support he needed, and she helped him to not feel alone and abandoned. Her help was a turning point for Max. It gave him the hope and strength he needed to continue his journey back home. As he wandered the streets, he started to pay more attention to his surroundings, looking for any familiar landmarks or smells. He remembered the smell of the flowers in his backyard and started following the scent. He also remembered the sound of the cars passing by his house and started following the noise. He kept walking, following his instincts and hoping for the best. Finally, after many days of wandering, Max had a stroke of luck. He was wandering through the streets when he caught a familiar scent. It was the smell of his home, the smell of his family. He followed the scent, running as fast as he could. As he got closer, he heard the sound of his family's voices. He recognized them and knew that he was close. Max reached his home, the place where he belonged. He jumped into his family's arms, wagging his tail and barking with joy. His family was overjoyed to see him and welcomed him back with open arms. They hugged him, kissed him, and cried with happiness. Max was home, safe and sound.